I wanted to do something a little bit different and introduce a new series where I go through retro games and help recommend some you may have missed from the history of gaming. Today we'll be looking at a handful of the best RPGs from the PS1 era. Before I get into things, please give me the best present ever and like and subscribe to the channel. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Another RPG from the PS1 era which has been massively overlooked over the years, and that is Vagrant Story. Vagrant Story is unique as a console action adventure role-playing game, and that was an absolute tongue twister. And then it features no shops and no player interaction with other characters. Instead, the game focuses on weapon creation and modification, as well as an element of puzzle solving and strategy. The gameplay is more of a 3D dungeon explorer, which each area of exploration and combat is being broken apart as rooms or small arenas. It utilises a form of real-time active battle combat system. Activating combat brings up a personal space bubble, and any offending part of the enemy's anatomy that pierces is asking to lose some serious HP. This was a very unique take on the RP genre, and to be honest a pioneering game for its time, and it really does not get the credit it deserves. Chrono Trigger was a bestseller in Japan. The game's SNES and PS1 iterations have shipped more than 2.3 million copies in Japan and 290,000 overseas. The first 2 million copies sold in Japan were delivered in only 2 months, and the game ended 1995 as the third best-selling game of the year in Japan, and for good reason. Chrono Trigger features standard RPG gameplay with several innovations. The player controls the protagonist and his companions in the game's 2D fictional world consisting of various forests, cities and dungeons. Navigation occurs via an overworld map depicting the landscape from a scaled-down overhead view. If you still have a PS1 lying around, blow off the dust and give this game a try. I couldn't do a best PS1 RPG list without including Final Fantasy VII now, could I? The materia system was an excellent idea that contributed to altering characters' stats, and that was one of my favourite parts of the game. But not only that, the character list is filled with interesting personalities, even if they're not all brought into the open. The world setting for Final Fantasy VII is full of mystery and variety, from exploring the ocean depths in a submarine, to flying across the sky in your airship, to travelling around on land on a chocobo. It was about as dynamic as any interactive world could have been for the time, back in 1997. Each town had a style and persona of its own, each area had a specific appeal to it, and how each character reacted to each region with their backstory was also absolutely fantastic. In my opinion, and millions across the globe, this is a definitive RPG experience that everyone should play at some point in their lifetime. The Legend of Dragoon is a role-playing video game developed by Japan Studio and published by Sony Computer Entertainment for the PS1 back in 1999 in Japan, and its release in 2000 in North America and 2001 in Europe. Set in a high fantasy fictional world called Endinus, the game follows a group of warriors led by the protagonist Dark as they attempt to stop the destruction of the world. The player controls a party of 3D character models through pre-rendered linear environments. Combat uses a combination of turn-based mechanics and real-time commands. Notably, the game includes a quick time event called Addition, during each attack requiring the players to press a button when 2 squares converge. This RPG has been massively overlooked since its release over 20 years ago, and I highly recommend it. There was about another 10 or so games I could have added to this list which would have been equally as good, but I wanted to keep this list relatively short as this series is a trial to see how it does. I'd love to hear from you. Have you played any of these games over the years or considering trying them? Let me know in the comments below. Again, thanks for watching, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and until next time, I'll see you later.